So SpaceX just pulled off the largest IPO in history. At the time of recording this, SpaceX is worth about 2.65 trillion with a T dollars. This means that Elon Musk is also the world's first trillionaire. And I wanted to make a video going into sort of the sketchy background and what's going on behind the scenes here, and then have you guys decide if you think SpaceX really is one of the most valuable companies in existence and the future of space travel, or one of the biggest scams we have ever seen in American economics. So first, a little bit of background on SpaceX. This company was founded in 2002 and is most widely known for their reusable rockets. Something you've probably seen either Elon Musk talk about or on the news. It really is incredible. It's rockets that fly into space and then come back down and land safely and can be reused again. That's kind of their claim to fame. But alongside that, they also have Starlink satellite internet, which is growing more and more popular every day. And this is like satellites that provide internet connections to basically anywhere in the world. And then they also have things like NASA contracts and a few other ways they make money. You have Elon Musk constantly talking about how he wants to make life multi-planetary and go to Mars and stuff like that. But yeah, they're definitely most widely known for their rocket launches and lowering the sort of barrier of going to space and the cost of launching rockets, basically. So as of 2025 numbers, the SpaceX makes about $18.7 billion a year in revenue. Again, compare that to the 2.6 trillion that apparently the stock market thinks this company is worth. 18.7 billion to 2.6 trillion. That's unheard of. Alongside that, something to also consider is that Starlink, the satellite internet products I was talking about, make up about $11.4 billion or 60% of their total revenue. Again, another thing to consider where the reusable rockets is kind of what gets people's attention and what they're known for, when actually it's Starlink that makes up over half of all the money they make. And on the grand scheme, they're actually losing money, about $5 billion a year in total, usually driven by the AI costs and spending on R&D. So obviously it's a very impressive company, very impressive technology. I don't want to take away from what the engineers are doing there. It really is incredible what they're doing. But what I do want to talk about is how these numbers justify a almost $2 trillion market cap immediately after IPO, and some of the other sketchy things going on behind the scenes here. So just in case also anyone is unaware, an IPO is an initial public offering. This is when a company that's usually owned by one person or a small group of people then sells the shares of ownership to the general public on the stock market. It allows for liquidity and for employees and owners to sell and sort of cash in on their ownership of these companies. So with all that being said, why is this a scam? Why is this so different? So SpaceX didn't really just go public like a normal company does. Basically the rules around IPOs and launching on the stock market were almost rewritten very quietly to get to where they want to be faster than ever. And where they want to be is in like index funds and retirement funds. So with a record-breaking almost $2 trillion market cap at IPO, SpaceX released a very, very small public float, about 4 to 5%. What this means is the total amount of stock available to the public out of how many stocks are total for the company. Normal rules and laws regarding this usually require something called seasoning periods, which is time it's on the stock market and being traded before it can be included into like the NASDAQ and the S&P. So what happened was the NASDAQ 100, which is a fund that basically tracks the 100 most valuable companies, changed their rules specifically for this IPO so that SpaceX could be included into the fund just 15 days after trading. This is completely unheard of and has actually just never been done before. So what this does is it forces the NASDAQ 100, the QQQ, and other fund trackers that a lot of people use for like safe investing, retirement, that kind of thing, it forces them to buy SpaceX within 15 days of its IPO. And they don't have, like, people who invest in these funds don't have a choice. They change their rules, and the way the rules work means they have to own a certain amount of these, top 100 companies. And because of where SpaceX lies with its $2 trillion valuation, which is a whole other issue, means that most people with retirement accounts, with safe investment accounts, don't have a choice, and they are forced essentially to buy into SpaceX with the fund money or to sell. This is basically one of the big parts of the scam, right? I don't know if it's Elon Musk or SpaceX or whoever is behind this, is essentially guaranteeing that a massive amount of money and traders are going to be buying SpaceX within 15 days. And 15 days is an important number, because the other thing SpaceX did is include certain rules that if you wanted to get in on the IPO for SpaceX, you couldn't sell after buying it. This is because certain trading platforms, including Robinhood, have basically implemented things to stop you from selling immediately after or very soon after the IPO. They say this is to prevent a big crash, but I mean, you guys make up your minds as you will. Essentially, like, Robinhood makes it so that if you sell within, I think, 30 days of the IPO, you're banned from participating in future IPOs for a certain amount of time. I think a couple of months. But again, it's just another angle of they are trying to get as many people to buy it and make it as hard as possible for people to sell it, even though, again, the valuation is unheard of for a company making $20 billion a year. And just to put in perspective how insane the value of this company, the market cap of this company is, they are trading at over 100 times their sales multiple on their revenue. This means they would need to stay exactly the same, making $20 billion a year for the next 100 years just to make enough money for how much their company is worth. And that's not even profit. Again, they are losing money every year. They're losing about $5 billion a year. This is just revenue before any expenses. They would still need to make they would need to stay consistent and make $20 billion a year for 100 years. That is, like, unheard of in terms of market cap. There's no reason and no way to justify having a market cap of 100 times the sales multiple, right? To justify dividend or via dividends alone, they would need to pay out every single penny they made, not profit, just in general made, for a century. That is insane. And again, we also have to remember the breakdown of that, right? Elon Musk is selling this as a space travel company, as the company that's going to bring people to Mars, all this other really sci-fi, cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, I think it's an awesome company, but we also have to remember that Starlink is the thing actually making the majority of that $20 billion revenue, right? And Starlink has nothing to do, well, not nothing to do, but Starlink is not what they are advertising at these investor conferences. And when Elon Musk goes on Twitter and says a bunch of shit, he's not talking about Starlink. He's talking about bringing people to Mars and all these, like, unimaginably impossible things that SpaceX is doing. When really, Starlink is making, was it $10-12 billion a year? The space launches and the rockets and stuff are essentially a break even. They're not necessarily losing money. They're definitely not profitable, but they have enough government contracts and stuff to where it at least pays for itself mostly. And then they're also betting billions and billions of dollars a year on AI, which of course is not the thing he's trying to advertise here, right? When you think of SpaceX, you think of the rockets. It's in the name, SpaceX. But then you actually look at it, and they could be making profit, but instead he's betting a ton of money, billions and billions of dollars, on AI and Grok, which is completely unproven, completely, there's no profits yet for that. And yet, this company that's making a loss every single year is worth apparently $2 trillion and is one of the most valuable companies to ever exist. So why is this a scam, right? I think we can understand why this company is overvalued and isn't realistically worth as much as they are saying they are, essentially. But why is this a scam? Well, it's a scam because people are still buying this expecting huge gains from the stock, right? You can go on any kind of stock or investing forum, and people are talking about SpaceX and how they're buying into SpaceX and expecting to essentially get rich from it. This company would have to go, would even to just, like, if you put in $1,000, if you want to double your money and get $2,000, this would have to be a $4 trillion company when they are making $20 billion a year. And I think Elon Musk and some people who are at the very top of SpaceX understand that this company is nowhere, not worth anywhere near that amount. The reason they're doing this is because they're using the hype around it. They're using the lies that this is a rocket company and not an AI company, and they are using basically every marketing scheme and thing they can in order to push this valuation as high as possible, so then they can unload and dump their stocks and make off like bandits, right? There are people who got into, owned parts of SpaceX when it was a very small company, it wasn't worth a lot. Now that they have, it still shouldn't be worth anywhere near it is, but because they have, started the IPO at this value of $2 point whatever trillion dollars, and people are buying it. People believe in Elon Musk. People believe in the things he says and the advertising hype. They are driving the stock even higher. It's up about 20 to 30% since the IPO in like a couple days, I'm pretty sure. And the people who actually own the stock are laughing and getting ready to sell it. It's a rug pull, and I think people just don't believe that either Elon Musk would do this or that SpaceX, it's such a futuristic company that they would never do something like this. And again, I think I brought this up briefly, but they've only released 4% of the float, or 4% of the total amount of stock. 96% of the company is still privately owned. So as long as they keep driving up that number on the public stock market, more and more insiders are going to be flooding the market with more stock. It's going to go drastically down as more and more of the float gets out onto the market. Just from, if there's more stock on the market, it's inherently worth less. And I also think it's the fault of, these people that are going on social media, on TikTok, on Instagram Reels. They download Robinhood and they aren't necessarily investing. They're essentially gambling, right? People aren't asking, what is this company worth? Is this company, does it have good fundamentals? Is it making money? The actual questions you should be asking before investing in a company, and they're instead asking, can I ride the momentum until, this eventually crashes? Can I ride it on the way up and sell it at the top? And I think that's just the general direction that investing is going, right? And it seems like a lot of people even know that this is a scam, and they are still choosing to invest in SpaceX. They don't care about the numbers that don't make sense. They don't care about the record-breaking valuation or the way they're changing laws and rules so that, the people at the top, the people with the most money, can make even more money riding the backs of the people who are kind of just like, oh, SpaceX is a cool company, I'll buy some stock. People know it's a scam, and they are still buying it, right? People know it's a scam. It's almost like that game on like gambling websites where the line keeps going up and up and up, and it's essentially hot potato. You don't want to sell it, or you want to sell it at the top before it comes crashing down. People know that's what this is, and are still continuing to invest and buy it. And the reasoning is just because they, it's an easy way to make money. Even if it's, 1% of the people make money doing that, it's just a grift. It's a scam from everyone, involved, essentially. It's a scam from the people running the IPO, running the company. It's a scam from Elon Musk, and people know it's a scam and are willingly scamming themselves. I feel like I've said that 100 times, but anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. It's just mind-blowing to me that, one, this is legal, this is happening. I mean, I don't know. The United States used to be a real country. Here we are, in the big 2026 doing shit like this. Apparently all this is legal. You can change the rules, whatever you want, just to make, a trillionaire, multi-trillionaire. And everyone else be damned, I guess. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't buy this shit. If you guys have retirement accounts or just regular investment accounts, you don't really have a choice, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. Speak up about this shit. Talk about it. Get angry about it. Yeah. Thanks for watching.